Jack Horner, a well-renowned paleontologist, had once stated, "Every apex predator that ever lived was both a destroyer and a creator, erasing the weak so that the strong could rise." In the wild, size is often an advantage. The bigger you are, the harder you are to kill. The same applies to apex predators. But if this was always the case, then why aren't predators the largest animals of their environments? The answer comes down to energy, and hunting is a pretty expensive expenditure. Chasing, overpowering, and killing prey requires an enormous amount of energy, and the larger a predator is, the more it needs to just eat just to survive. Meanwhile, herbivores have a constant reliable food source, which are plants, giving them an energy advantage that allows them to grow up to enormous sizes. To overcome this, carnivores were forced to rely instead on their highly developed speed advantage, including pack hunting and powerful bites and razor-sharp claws to pin down or take down prey much more bigger than themselves. But once in a blue moon, a carnivore shows up that takes this big game hunting thing to the next level. A predator so specialized its weapons were designed for taking down giants. A few thousand years ago during the Ice Age, there was one such predator. It was the undisputed king of its time, and its name, the Smilodon. The Smilodon is one of those extinct animals you probably recognize instantly, thanks to its striking looks and those giant saber teeth. With its striking features, it's become a symbol of Ice Age predators. Surprisingly though, when this prehistoric kitty was first discovered, over 160 years ago in Brazil, paleontologists didn't think it was a cat at all. Instead, they had believed it was a giant hyena. The mix-up happened because the first fossils discovered were just a few cheek teeth, and to make things even worse, these closely resembled those of a modern hyena. As a result, they gave this new animal the name Hyena Nyoga. Thankfully, the Smilodon's legacy didn't stay stuck with that awkward title for too long. Soon enough, more fossils started to show up, foot bones, skull pieces, and its infamous massive canines that always looked too big to fit inside its mouth. And just like that, the Smilodon's true identity had come roaring into focus. If you liked the video so far, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out any future uploads. Yet with the discovery of more bones, it became clear that the Smilodon was never a hyena, instead it was its own unique genus of big cats. Way more massive and more robust than any modern feline. This new understanding had led paleontologists to give it the name Smilodon populator. The Smilodon part comes from the word knife tooth, which is a pretty obvious reference to those giant teeth, while populator translates to the destroyer or he who brings devastation. Honestly, it couldn't be a more fitting name when you think about just how deadly this predator was. Along with the name change, researchers dug deeper into the Smilodon's true identity, a mystery that continues to unfold. Paleontologists now place it within the extinct subfamily, Megafaunal, which includes most of what people call the saber-tooth tigers. What's fascinating is these creatures were not closely related to any modern tigers or living cat for that matter. If anything, their closest relatives are actually in the Felinae family, a totally different branch. Within Megafaunal, Smilodon belongs to a smaller group known as the dirk-toothed cats. This exclusive group is home to just 5 different genera, making it a pretty lonely bunch. Another key difference between the 3 Smilodon species was their size. Each new iteration was bigger than the last, with the gracilis being the smallest and populator being the giant of the 3. But make no mistake, all 3 species were massive by cat standards. Some specimens were so huge that Smilodon is considered to be one of the largest known felids to date. Today, paleontologists think gracilis weighed about the same as a modern-day jaguar, which is the largest cat on Earth. Meanwhile, Fatalis was a bit larger, with individuals being similar to size to an African lion. However, these Smilodons were a lot heavier on average, thanks to their more muscular builds. They clocked in at about 280 kilograms or 620 pounds, which is about the size of a large tiger. But when you get to the populator, things start to get absolutely wild. This species was ridiculously large, with the biggest specimens including some massive skulls. It's estimated that they could reach up to 470 kilograms or 1,040 pounds. That's about the same weight as a modern-sized polar bear, Earth's largest terrestrial carnivore. What's even more interesting about Smilodon is that these studies show it didn't have much sexual dimorphism. This means that males and females were pretty much about the same size, which is a rare occurrence inside big cats. Given its sheer size and strength, it's pretty much accepted that Smilodon was an apex predator inside its environments. But it wasn't just big, it was also incredibly robust. This predator wasn't interested in small prey. Smilodon had thick, sturdy bones that would have been wrapped around large amounts of muscle during its lifetime. The heel bone in particular was extra robust and long, which was a strong indicator that Smilodon was a pretty powerful jumper. In fact, this cat likely used its impressive vertical leap to pounce on top of large herbivores. Now, while we can't say for sure exactly how high it could jump, it's been speculated that Smilodon could have jumped higher than a modern-day lion. Lions have been known to leap over 15 feet, or 4.5 meters high. Imagine what Smilodon could do with its power and agility. This is just another area where Smilodon was simply put built different. Its forelimbs were just phenomenal. Now, all large felids have powerful forelimbs designed to hold down struggling prey, but Smilodon took this to the next level. Its forelimbs were about 20% thicker than what scientists would normally expect for a cat its size. This gave Smilodon some ridiculous power, even more than bigger cats like the American lions. With these shredded forearms, Smilodon could easily hold down their prey. And it didn't just stop there. Its forelimbs were also powered by fully retractable claws, but these claws weren't like the claws of a lion or a tiger. While still razor sharp and curved, Smilodon's claws were proportionally ginormous, just like many other aspects of its body. Reconstructions show that these claws were twice the size of a Siberian tiger's and even longer than those of a Kodiak brown bear, which can weigh twice as much as a fully grown Smilodon. These claws could certainly slice through flesh, but their main purpose was actually to hold down larger prey, rather than causing damage, and as for the damage dealer, that honor goes to its infamous saber-tooth. You'd think with those massive saber teeth, the Smilodon could deliver a jaw-crushing bite, but surprisingly, it turns out its bite was surprisingly weak, packing only about 1,000 newtons of force, making it 4 times weaker than that of a lion's bite. And those long intimidating canines, they were actually pretty fragile. Thin and delicate, they weren't built for brute force. This begs the question, how did Smilodon take down their prey without breaking those saber teeth? Some paleontologists think that they would ambush predators relying on stealth. Picture this, the Smilodon hides in dense vegetation, leaps out and uses its powerful claws to pin down its prey. Then it delivers a precision strike, driving its saber teeth into the prey's soft underbelly, causing massive blood loss. Brutal, right? But not everyone buys this theory. Another even more chilling possibility is that Smilodons went for the throat, delivering quick, deep bites. This could cause suffocation, severe bleeding, and ultimately a very bad day for the prey. A fascinating study had shown Smilodon's jaws could open to a jaw-dropping 120 degrees, nearly twice of what humans can manage. With that range, no neck was safe. Pair those saber teeth with razor-sharp claws, and it's no wonder Smilodon was a top predator. Scans of its brain cavity reveals that this creature had next-level coordination, excellent hearing, and incredible vision. Its eye sockets suggest Smilodon had binocular vision, giving it a sharp depth perception, perfect for pinpointing prey inside its sights. But that's not all. Smilodon were also speedy. How do we know? Well, many fossilized sternums had shown signs of trauma, likely from high-velocity impacts with other prey. Imagine running so fast you collide with your target. That's commitment. With these traits combined, super senses, agility, and that iconic set of weapons, Smilodon could take down a huge variety of megafaunal prey. What they had hunted depended largely on where they lived, but one thing's for sure, if you were big and slow, you didn't stand a chance. What's crazy is, the Smilodon wasn't picky, it hunted a buffet of megafaunal creatures, depending on where it had roamed. For example, in North America, its typical prey included the giant extinct bisons and camels, and occasionally they'd go after the biggest game of the time, such as mastodons, Columbian mammoths, and yes, not even these colossal creatures stood a chance against the Smilodon's deadly power. Meanwhile, in South America, Smilodon mixed it up with prey such as the toxodon, a hippo-like razor, and the lithotern, a strange extinct hoof mammal. Throw in ancient horses, camelids, and even caimans, and you've got a menu as diverse as it was dangerous. What is more is, skeletal evidence shows clear signs of predation on many of these species, proving Smilodon wasn't just built for show. It used those saber teeth to dominate some of the largest animals of its time. While the Smilodon was a dominant predator, it shared its territory with some of the most formidable carnivores, creating intense competition for foods. Among its most noteworthy rivals were the American lion, Panthera atrox, and the direwolves, Canis dirus. These species shared a similar diet to the Smilodon, as evidenced by isotopic analysis, making them its fiercest competitors. The American lion was larger than the Smilodon, and might have matched its ferocity. Fights between the two likely occurred when their paths crossed, especially near valuable kills. These encounters could either go either way, depending on the situation. However, both species likely avoided direct confrontation whenever possible, given the high risks involved. Direwolves, on the other hand, presented a different dynamic. Unlike Smilodon's solitary numbers or small group hunting style, direwolves often hunted in large packs. Despite their numbers, evidence from Los Angeles Museum suggests that direwolves frequently abandoned kills to Smilodon, which had consumed them entirely, including even the bones. This suggests that Smilodon's sheer intimidation factor and powerful build were enough to force even packs of predators to back down. Another heavyweight contender was the short-faced bear, the Aroctodus, a behemoth that could even outweigh even the largest Smilodon. Some short-faced bears reached sizes comparable to that of even medium-sized dinosaurs. However, their primarily omnivorous diet meant less direct competition for prey. Additionally, their solitary nature often kept them out of conflicts with Smilodon groups, which were far better equipped to defend kills. Through its cunning strength and fearsome appearance, Smilodon managed to thrive in an environment brimming with predators, cementing its legacy as one of the Ice Age's most iconic hunters. Humans are thought to have encountered Smilodon as early as 25,000 years ago, marking the start of a tense and potentially dangerous relationship. By the time humans arrived in the Americas, only the most formidable species, Smilodon Fatalis and Smilodon populator, had remained. This overlap in time and territory made coexistence difficult, especially given the shared diet of megafauna. There is evidence suggesting that early humans may have occasionally fallen victim to Smilodon. This theory is supported by Megafaunal, a potential ancestor of Smilodon, being known to have preyed on Homo erectus. If this behavior carried on, it's plausible that some unlucky people became prey to Smilodon's ambushes. On the other hand, human technology, such as stone weapons, gave our species a fighting chance. While no direct evidence of confrontations exist, a petroglyph discovered in 2021 shows what appears to be humans observing a Smilodon from a safe distance. This artwork strongly suggests that interactions did actually happen, and Smilodon likely inspired both terror and awe. Ultimately, Smilodon's extinction coincided with the arrival of humans and significant climate changes. While we may never know the details of their interactions, the legacy of Smilodons is undeniable, an apex predator that shaped the fears and folklore of early humans. So basically, the coexistence between humans and Smilodon was tragically short-lived. The last known remains of the Smilodon Fatalis and Smilodon populator have been dated to approximately 10,000 years ago, a period coinciding with significant global transitions, including the advent of farming in some regions. This extinction marked the end of the iconic saber-tooth cats, closing a chapter that had lasted for over 20 million years. The extinction of Smilodon remains shrouded in mystery and debate. Some hypothesize that human activity played a crucial role, citing habitat loss from fires and direct competition for prey as contributing factors. However, there is considerable disagreement about the extent of human impact. While humans likely exacerbated the challenges facing Smilodon, many experts argue that the true culprit was a coordinary extinction event, a time when many megafauna, the primary prey of Smilodon, had disappeared. As a specialized giant slayer, Smilodon's adaptations had become its curse. With fewer large prey animals like giant bisons and mammoths to hunt, its survival strategy became unsustainable. Unable to adapt to a rapidly changing ecosystem, Smilodon succumbed to extinction, leaving behind a legacy as one of the world's most formidable predators. Its disappearance marked the end of not just saber-toothed cats in the Americas, but globally, making it the final member of a family that had reigned supreme for millions of years. Ultimately, the loss of Smilodon symbolizes the fragility of even the most powerful creatures in the face of environmental change and human expansion. Thanks for watching, and see you next time in the wild past.